Hello and welcome back to Stop Apologizing. I am your host Sophia and we are coming to you live from my hotel room. It's been a couple of days. It's a bit delayed from doing this episode because I had some real life experiences happening and I thought now would probably be the best time to talk on the final episode of getting your shit together when it comes to your finances. And this episode is kind of like a fun one. It is all about the woo-woo things that I do to increase my abundance and my capacity for abundance. Everything that I share today, there's like 5 top things, and I've put down some notes. So if I look down, that's just to reference some things so I don't forget. But these are things that I did that I do them. I've learned them from either psychologists, neuroscientists, or financial advisors. And you could call them woo-woo, you could call them spiritual, but a lot of them are science-backed as well and neuroscience-backed. So I would strongly recommend, if any of these resonate with you, implementing them or giving them a go in your life, because once I started to play with these 5 aspects, I definitely noticed a shift in my behavior towards money, which also allowed me to attract and keep more money in my life. So if you've made it this far and you've got to the 4th part, congratulations, because getting your finances together is like a scary feat. But when we do, and we tackle them, gosh, it feels amazing. So let's get into today's episode, which is all the woo-woo things that I do to help increase my financial abundance in my life. So the first thing I do is, now stay with me, I talk to myself out loud. Now, I am a big fan of Marissa Peer's work. If you don't know her, she's a psychologist. She is unbelievable. I really resonate with her work. So if you're interested in learning more about her, you can check the link in the description of the show notes. But our brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and real life. And I'll give you an example of something that happened to me recently. So having relocated to a new country and I've just taken on a new home, I needed to purchase all new things for the new home. And it was a really interesting experience because, one, I was looking at different homes. And so I was like, should I get this home? Should I get that home? And when I use the word should, I'm like, why is it a should? What is it that I really want? What is it that how do I want to feel? What does my body need for a home right now? And so at first I was touring larger homes and I started to realize that's not where I am in my life right now. I actually want something a little bit more intimate, a little bit more homely, where it's just myself right now. And I can see in the next year or 2 moving in with my partner. And so having our own house and our own home. So for me, this feels like a base, a little space in the city. So I started to recognize, okay, not to make decisions off emotion and to really sit with things and tour around and look at options, right? And in doing that, I talked to myself out loud. I was like looking at myself in the mirror and saying, what are some of the things that I want from a home? What is some of the things how do I want to feel? And safety was a really big, an important thing for me. Community. So being around other people was really important to me. Light was important to me. Having the ability to go outside. So I moved from looking from a house to an apartment. So I wanted to have a balcony to know that I could get sunlight on my face in the morning. It was important to me that there was newer features to the apartment, and I wanted some of the bells and whistles. I wanted a really good gym in the apartment complex. The place that I landed on is the amenities, and being in the United States and also in America, I mean, in Austin, being in your city, um, you get more access to that. But these were some of the things that I was speaking out loud and being thankful for these things. Like, I'm thankful for the safety that I feel. I'm thankful for the light that I get from my home. I'm thankful for the community that I feel, because it was like owning that already, not just stating I want, because it's like I'm in lack then. It's like I don't have it. It's more I was stating praise and thank you for this. And it was a really interesting experience, because what I landed on and the place that I took was actually smaller than something that I initially wanted. And my mind was like, an old pattern was like, you need more space, you should have this. And whenever I noticed the shoulding, it's like, oh, that's old behavior. And so I purposely say out loud, cancel, cancel, cancel. So it's telling my brain that's an old thought. That's not anything that really matters right now. What is the new way of how I want to approach life? How do I want to be different? How do I want to show up differently? And so when it came to choosing this home, I was like, cancel, 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 because that's the old way of thinking. What are some of the things that I am thankful for now? And just kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating it and speaking out loud and speaking to the mirror. And you could be like, fuck, I'm going crazy. There's so much effort. I can't be bothered. But if you try it and you say, thank you for the sunlight in my house. Thank you for the spaciousness. Thank you for the safety. Thank you for the amazing gym that I get to train in. Instantly, you are creating endorphins in your body. You feel good, right? So speaking out loud is like claiming it. And what I noticed was it allowed me to see the unconscious beliefs that I was running. So my nervousness was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a smaller place. Like, is that right? Like, there was scarcity in that. And I was like, no, I remember the things that I desire in my house. I'm so grateful for them. And then it made me recognize, like, I trust the decisions that I'm making. So the first thing I would say is, like, speak out loud, because you're making the unconscious conscious. You're seeing what are some of the things that are, running my day-to-day life, and ensuring that you use powerful and strong statements to change that. Again, I'll reference back to Marissa Peer is incredible. I truly believe in her work. It's been so beneficial for me. So hit in the link in the description and you can look at her work in more detail. But we have limiting beliefs that run our everyday actions, right? They're just beliefs that we've had for ages. And I wanted to be like, what are the unconscious beliefs that I have towards money and how I spend money? And how can I actively change that? The second thing I do is I visualize. I get really specific on the things that I want to cultivate more in my life. And visualization, it's not just like, sitting here visualizing, because some people just can't sit and meditate and don't enjoy that, right? I do that like give my brain 2 to 5 minutes before I go to sleep to just be grateful and then visualize, the next chapter of what I'm stepping into. But a visualization could be you going through magazines and cutting out things that, like, homes that you aspire for, or um, like visualizing whatever you want to bring to life, like creating a mood board, doing a Pinterest board, whatever it is, something that can actually have the visualization in front of you. It's so, so, so important to see where you're stepping into, to see it every day, to visualize it. Like, you can use it on the screen of your phone, or you could use it, you know, put it up on the wall of your apartment or your house. Like, visualize, so then you can start to embody wherever you're moving towards in life. See that it's possible. And it's really interconnected for me, where I look at, like, who am I surrounding myself with? Because that is so important, right? If you are surrounding yourself with people that are in lack a lot of the time or scarcity, and you are taking that on, right? Then that is a visualization of your experience. So, like, I'll give you another example. Recently, I was speaking to a family member about some changes that I was having in my life, and their their response is such a beautiful butterfly that just went past, which is a visualization for me is like I love the beauty of butterflies, and there's such a significance of them to me, and so to see them is like, oh wow, it means a lot. But going back to what I was saying is there someone, especially around finances, like if someone is scared around their finances, they're going to project that on any decision that you're making. So I've decided to be a little bit more, what would the word be, discreet in how I share certain things to do with my finances with other people. And I'm particular about who I share what I spend or the money I earn with, because everyone is going to have have an have a have advice based on their situation. So if you're with a friend that is in a very good financial position, they're going to be able to back you, support you, give you guidance, right? If you've got a friend or a family member that is scared with money, just watch their money habits. Ask yourself, would I want their financial beliefs? Would I want to use finances the way that they are using finances? And if your answer is no, then don't talk to them about your finances. And that's purely, there's no judgment and there's nothing personal about that with them. It's just if you want to level up, right? Your environment creates your experience. So if you are surrounded by people that complain, that are scared towards money, that are, you feel deflated, not elated when you're spending time with them. Again, it's nothing personal to them, but it's like you're wanting something more for yourself. And it's not, you have to bring everyone up around you. It's just, okay, I'm going to choose to share my finances with someone different. So visualization, I feel like, yes, going back to the first point, your brain does not know the difference between imagination and real life. So when you can visualize where you're moving towards. So if it's, I want to buy a new house, and you have pictures of the desire of that new house, and you see that new house, every time you see it, you feel elated, you feel excited, you feel expanded. You're starting to draw that towards you. But how do you feel when you surround yourself with someone that's just like, you can't afford that? You're going to have to work so insanely hard. You're not going to be home with your kids. If someone's repeating that stuff to you in front of you, you feel scared. You feel like tired. You feel down. So I would be really specific on get clear on the visualization, get specific on what it is that you want in life, be thankful for it, and also choose who you surround yourself with, because it's such a huge contributor to your life, your happiness, your emotions, your experience. The next thing I would say is, I love this one, which is increasing your surface level of luck. And what do I mean by that? I mean, try different things. Have some fun. Like, if you're wanting to increase your wealth, like, go to a seminar and learn about it, or watch a different, I don't know, Netflix. There's a great Netflix series on a money professional. I can't remember his name, but he speaks on Netflix on like getting your finances together. I've watched a few of his episodes and I was like, that's great. Watch some YouTube clips, find people that resonate with you, um, change it up, do something different. Because if you're wanting to make a change in your life, like I'll link it back to fitness. I think fitness is a great one. If you're wanting to lose weight and get fit, you need to go to a gym, or you need to change something in your life. You need to change your routine. You need to change what you're eating. So the same thing goes with your finances. And so increasing your level of luck and your surface level of luck is like try a different cafe. Go and learn about, read a finance book in a cafe. Mix it up, try different things and see how you experience it. I do it a lot with when I go to cafes now in the US. Like the tipping thing was such a weird experience for me because I've later found out that if you're just like getting a takeaway coffee, you don't need to tip, right? And I used to tip all the time. I was like, just tip, who cares? It's $1, it's $2 or whatever. And I thought to myself, no, 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 you have to try not tipping. Just try because it will say like the tip screen comes up and it's like, do you want to tip? And you have to press no and then sign. And then I used to be like, oh my God, the person behind me is going to think I'm a cheapskate. And I used to care about what everyone else thought. And I thought, no, it's okay. Like, you don't have to give all the time. This is not a requirement to tip in this place. If I was staying here and drinking, sure, tip. But they're just making you a copy and going. You don't need to tip for this experience. And that was like uncomfortable at first for me. But then I realized, like, again, I am changing my beliefs towards money and my experiences towards money. So I needed to do something different. So my third one is like increasing my surface level of luck, like I'll give you another example. I went to an Australian cafe the other day because I was missing Australia and I just wanted to get some Vegemite with avocado. Any Australians listening, you understand like that saltiness on the bread. Oh, yum. Anyway, so I went to an Australian cafe in Austin and there was a lady behind me and I heard her talking about coffee. And I was like, oh, she's clearly a coffee connoisseur. She must know where good coffee is in Austin. And I just turned around and I asked her that. And um, then her husband joined, and the three of us ended up talking a lot. And then we exchanged numbers. She's like, hey, if you ever want to go on coffee tours, we'll take you. And then I met with them on the weekend, and it's incredible. We just ended up talking about business and different like education programs that they're learning at the moment when it came to AI. And for me, I went to a new cafe by myself on a Sunday, happened to turn around and ask this woman, and now I've made a great friend from it. And so I would say like have the ability to like do something new, change how you see risks. Like that could have been risky and being like, this person could tell me to frick off. But I now made two great friends from that conversation, which I really enjoyed their company. So my thing is like switch it up. If you're doing the same routine every day, going to the same coffee shop, watching the same people, doing the same things, you're going to get the same outcome. But if you're wanting to change the way that you see your finances, well, listen to different people online, take different courses, do a seminar, join an email, read Reddit, go to a different cafe, like see where you're stuck with your finances and play with it because it doesn't have to be boring. Like increasing your surface level of luck. That sounds fun and interesting and different. And that leads me on to my fourth one, which is have fun. Have fun. I know myself, like when it came to, like, you could call this self-help, right? Or self-education. But for me, I'm like, it doesn't have to be so serious. Like, how can you have fun with this? The tipping one was a great example, right? Where I was like, I'm nervous not to tip here because I cared so much about what other people thought, right? And I was like, I'm going to play with this. I'm going to see how it feels. Like, I don't have to be so serious. Like, let's see how I feel. So when the screen came up, I was like, do I want to tip this person? And gave myself permission to like think about it. Another thing was going back to now needing to furnish my new place. I went to a bed store that was recommended to me, and I was like, I'm going to try out all these new beds. And so I tried out these new beds, and I got on this bed, and it was honestly phenomenal. Like I was like, what the actual hell? And it had the bells and whistles, like it really did. And um, when I turned to the sales assistant and I was like, "So how much is this bed?" And he told me, I was like, "Of course, I'm choosing like pretty much the most expensive bed in here." And I thought to myself, you know, I'm not going to make this decision out of scarcity. That's not where abundance thrives. It's like, this is a bed that I spend like, 30%, if not more of your life in. I work a lot and it's a beautiful, like, I want to come home to something that feels safe and I have the finances to be able to afford this. So I thought to myself, no, I'm going to get myself this bed. And I decided to have fun with it. And every time a thought came up, like, oh, you can't spend that much on a bed, I was like, is that my thought or is that somebody else's? And I was like, nope, that's not my thought. And I used the same method as I said in method one: cancel, cancel, cancel. I'm going to have fun with this. And I was like, I want to get this bloody bed. And it allowed me to feel so proud of myself to be like, I'm allowed to invest in myself. Like, what is so wrong with that? If I know I had the finances to be able to afford this, then of course I'm going to do it. Why not? And now I'm so excited the bed gets delivered this week, and I just cannot wait to get on it and go to sleep. So I would say, like, have fun with it, play around with it, see what, like, it doesn't have to be so serious. Like, I laugh at myself sometimes. I say, I had such scarcity towards money. I had such, like, you have to work hard, 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 hard. Your worth is determined like by how hard you work. I can only make lots of money from working really hard. And even as I say these things, like, I feel sick in my stomach. Like, they're not my beliefs. They were things that were mirrored to me that aren't mine, that I don't need to have anymore. And so I would say just have fun with it, play around with it. They all, like, all of these things interconnect with each other because my thing is, like, I have fun with it where, like, I talk to certain friends about my finances now and it's like fun. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? How do you get it? Like, let's go have some fun with this. You could even talk, like, if you've got men that you actually, men are really, they're more open. I think it's just, I spoke about this in the previous episode, but they're a lot more open when it comes to their finances. And it's just like, why not? If you know someone that's doing really, really well, then why not ask them for their help? Because I can guarantee you they'll want to help you. I put this content out because I've noticed, like, I can really say that I used to. It's not familiar to me anymore to have such scarcity around money. And I notice how much it's changed my life by, like, one, seeing the scarcity, the limiting beliefs that I had, two, making them known, accepting them, and then, yes, it takes time, but it's so worth it, like repeating new beliefs towards money that are actually mine, that I'm choosing, that are right for me. So the last thing I would say to you is, like, engineer your environment. Like, engineer who's around you. What are you listening to? What are you consuming? If you've got negative thoughts come up, like, cancel, cancel, cancel. It's a really good one. It's like, I see that as when I say cancel, 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 it's like puts a line through those thoughts. Yes, it takes effort. And when I look back on it, and if someone asked me, what is some of the hardest things that you've had to overcome? It's not like building a successful business. It's not, that all comes. That's easy, to be honest. The hardest thing is actually overcoming yourself, overcoming your own limiting beliefs. But if you can combine ways of just being like doing something new for yourself, putting yourself in new situations, taking a risk, even if it's small, and fear is present, still moving with the fear, seeing what runs your behavior, like getting clear on that, working with people that understand it and can support you, and being around people that uplift you. It's not a negative thing to cut people out of your life where you feel tired and, what's the word I'm looking for? Tired and, like, it's like exhausted by. What could be stopping you is like your limiting thought around, well, they've been in my life for so long, they're this, they're that. And it's like, doesn't mean you have to cut them out brutally, but it's like there's certain seasons where people come in and out. It's like jobs, it's like relationships. And there's nothing personal to them because someone may want me not in their life, right? I know it's not anything personal. It's not a direct reflection of me. It's just, this is the experience that I'm moving through right now. And it's, if it's someone that's going through a hard time, it's not saying like cut them out just because they're going through a hard time. But if you notice like a constant reoccurrence of like negativity when you're around them or your energy drops or you're not, it's okay to step back from that relationship. It's okay to put yourself first. If you are really wanting to up-level yourself and change your experience, especially with money, you've got to be doing different things to what you're doing right now. So I just want to summarize today's like 5 key things, like woo-woo things, but also like very scientifically backed and very supportive tools that can really help you to change your relationship to money, which then it changes your experience with money. So the first one is like talk out loud, write, speak, see. Like I put things up on my mirror. I have like mantras that I repeat out. I don't care if people are like, she's crazy. I'm like, sure, go right ahead. But my life, I'm pretty abundant. So something's working. The next thing is visualize or get specific. And that's not just meditating. Like I mentioned, I go to bed and I visualize like what my next day could be like, what I'm moving towards. Like when we have a goal and then we get specific on why we want to achieve the goal, it allows the brain to like, oh, okay, we need to move towards that. So do a mood board, whatever it is that helps you visualize or see what it is that you are moving towards is so important because you start to feel it, embody it, see it. The next thing that I would recommend you do is increase your surface level of luck. Try different things. See where you feel uncomfortable when it comes towards money and try a different route. If that's you always overpay for other people, don't. Step back, receive. Let someone pay for you. See what that's like. That was a big one for me. I was like, okay, I'll like let someone pay for me, which because I was just so like, it was kind of like a people pleasing thing where I was just like, I'll just pay or avoid being awkward in this situation. Just allow someone to pay for you. Have fun. Like it doesn't have to be serious. And when it becomes too serious, stop, walk away, run around, jump around, move around. You could dance to it. Like if you've got, a money track that you like listening to or a song that makes you feel uplifted when it comes to money, like move around, dance, jump, like be silly, be playful, be fun. And then engineer your environment. Like think about who you are surrounded by, who you speak to your finances with. Do you even speak to anyone? Where are you getting any support? You don't have to do this alone. Is there anyone in front of you on the path that you are moving towards that you can ask for advice or support? I still remember when I was selling my first, I think it was my first company, and I had no idea how to sell the company or what it was valued. And I asked for one of my really good friend's husbands because I knew he was great at it. There's no shame in asking for help on something that you don't know about. So engineering your environment, what are you surrounded by? Like, are you in cafes where you're inspired by the people if that's where you're going to work? Like, who do you have conversations with day to day? Are these people you want to be like? So I hope you found this money series really, really, really helpful. I just appreciate and support and love your support. So if you have any comments you think that this would resonate with anyone, please share the podcast on because it reaches more women just like you. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And I hope you have just a beautiful, amazing, lovely week wherever you are. And to remember that you're so worth it. You are enough. I love you. See you soon.